Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture. My guest today is comedian Chris Mond. If you're in the North Carolina or South Carolina area, definitely check him out. He's very hilarious. Promise you'll enjoy the show. Thank you again for coming on, man.
Hey, absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's always exciting to get down to sit and talk to other comics and get their perspective. And I've been watching your moves, so I definitely appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, thanks, man. Also, Chris Mond is the co-host of the Papa Don podcast. Definitely listen to the podcast. Check it out. They drop many jewels.
For
Yeah, man.
sure, for sure. We try to anyway.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get to y'all numbers, man. When are y'all gonna start doing Spotify again?
Uh, I don't want to lie.
Okay.
Sometime soon. I know I'm working on it. Just with his schedule in mind, man, it's been kind of hectic. So we're in the near future. I can say
Cool,
that.
cool. Cool. But for right now, if people want to find it, it's on Facebook and where else?
Facebook, and we got something on YouTube right now as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, definitely check out that podcast, Papa Don Podcast, on Facebook and YouTube. Definitely check it out. Um, so the topic you chose was trap music. But before we get into that, I like to ask comedians. A lot of people like to focus on bombing, but I'm more focused on succeeding. So when was the first time you
Absolutely.
killed? uh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, I say absolutely. Kind of focus on the positive.
Of course. So when was the first time you killed, and how did it feel?
I would say the first time I actually quote unquote killed was probably my fifth or sixth show. I had to show up in Durham, and I
Okay.
was kind of hesitant about the material. And this was about 2016, so 2016. And I did a 15-minute guest spot, man, and at least 13 minutes of it was solid and got applause breaks, a few people, falling out of their seat, and this was a black crowd. So to get that type of love, I was like, okay, I can do this. And but that was after I did three shows where I bombed. So you take the good with the bad. So I was excited to finally get that monkey off my back.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anything compare to that feeling?
Uh, I was not really, man, because I would say that it's like drugs. It's like once you get that first good show, you want to do it again, until you get that bad batch of dope, and it's like I don't want to do this no more. So it's it is a feeling. It's kind of like if I was to do drugs, I would say it's about as good as doing drugs.
Yeah, I agree. Like once you get on that stage and you do good, it's just you're right. It's very addicting, addictive.
It,
Uh,
especially there's other comics on the show that was talking shit. Like, they were trying to sun you like, oh man, I don't know about you doing this crowd. I don't know about you doing that. And I went out there and I killed. So it's like to walk off stage and they follow you and they bomb.
yeah,
It's like, oh shit. So that's even better. I'll take that any day of the week.
they were very humbled. I bet.
Absolutely. And still getting humble to this day. They're still doing comedy and bombing. But that's a that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that had to be very sad for them the moment they realized, like, oh, this guy's funny.
Right.
Yeah. Um, as we you talked about the crowd, for people listening, as someone that's not a comedian, do you think it's you will explain it being a big difference between a black crowd and a white crowd, or do you think it's all in our minds?
Nah, I mean, it can be in your mind. You can always get in your head. You always your biggest critic. But I do find some differences and similarities. So I mean, the biggest difference with a black crowd, quote unquote, urban crowd, versus a mainstream crowd, which is predominantly white. Black people like to be entertained, and it's one of those. If you ain't coming out and you got in a shiny suit, and you talking about sex every other joke and laying all across the table, fucking the stool is what I call it, um, they're not going to be really entertained. And so with me, the way I tell my jokes, I want to give you something to think about. You might not laugh right then, but when you get in the car, it's like, oh, Chris was funny. So to do that with a black crowd is really tough. You really got to go off the ledge a little bit to keep them engaged and keep them entertained, especially if they're drinking. And black shows, I don't know why they got in their mind that they want to charge, $40 a ticket to see three people. I'm like, come on, man, that ain't necessary. He said, and you got all these black people that done dressed up and drinking and paid $40. They want to hear some Kevin Hart shit. And I come up there and I'm being philosophical and making you think. You don't want to hear that. So that's my biggest difference that I'm seeing so far.
You ain't lying about the money though, man. I'm talking about $35, $40 tickets, and then they be like,
yeah, I'm like, why?
Have you had the promoter do this right here? Yeah. Like, man, we ain't sell the tickets like we thought we were going to.
Bruh, I've done a show and I seen the promoter take the cash box and kind of go in the back. I said, oh shit, let me cut my set short before you go back there and try to take some money out. Man, when they give you that little handshake and it's folded up, you already know you didn't got shit. So
I think
that's the only.
My first experience was, and it was sold out. Like this, the guy, I've worked with him since. He's paid me well, but I never forget a guy told me legit. He was like, "No, man, I'm paying you exposure. This room's full, man. A lot of people don't know who you are."
Right. I'm so glad I'm kind of past that stage a little bit. I mean, that is the worst because they take advantage of you, and it's more so. And I hate to say this, but it's more so black promoters than white promoters, man. It's kind of like what I've been seeing is like they'll come up to you and say, "Hey, we got this person. They're from Atlanta." Like, okay, like they headlining, and so you can get their crowd and get that exposure. But I'm like, you got me on stage where y'all still setting up seats in the crowd. Ain't nobody here yet. So how is this exposure? If I want exposure, I go to the park, put my pants down. If I want exposure, but I hate when they try to hit you with that line. So that really burns me up. So
well, Chris, I pray for the day I get on your level, man, because right now it's all about exposure for me. Like I don't want to turn down any opportunities, but I definitely understand. I can't wait to get to that level where like money has to come,
Yeah, well, I mean, I say it this way. You have to find the fine line. So if it's a show where I know for sure, like, okay, the Atlanta Comedy Club called me or Comedy Zone calls and say, hey Chris, this person's headlining, we want you to host, we want you to open up. Bet because Charles's Chicken Shack and you got, Mr. Make 'em Laugh from Meridian, Mississippi. You want me to do exposure for that? And I ain't doing that. That don't make sense. So it has to make sense when you're doing shows.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, my favorite one is a true story. Like I said, the guy paid me since then, but when it was exposure, and there was another promoter that said, "Hey man, I got three." He got a case of water. He had a 24 case of water, and he was like, "Hey man, look, I had to pay them. Look, I got a case of water. Do you want that?" And gave me a 24 pack case of water.
Man,
yeah.
Was it at least name brand?
No, man. No.
It was like great value, Sam's Choice water.
He might have got it off wish.com. I don't know.
I'd have put it one on the ground, so I need my money.
Yeah,
I need to get home. Give me gas to get home.
It was more of me like laughing and then realizing that he was being super serious and have to be like, well, I guess it's water or nothing. And he bought me some chicken wings and we called it even, I guess. So
how much time did you do?
That makes it worse, man. This is early on. So I did 15, but I only had 7. So it was a lot of crowd work. So it wasn't the worst show, but it wasn't the best show either. It was just a lot of crowd work.
Okay, that's that.
And the reason why
sometimes you gotta go off the cuff, man, with black crowds. You
ain't got no choice.
Right.
Yeah, black crowds. That's really what they want. They want you to talk to them. That's what I noticed, especially when I had to like host like at the comedy house. Son, majority of the time, all they really want you to do is talk to them. That's it. And it was just like, all right, I'll play this game. Let's play. That's like, just please give me something to joke about.
Right. They don't want to hear no material. They want you to stand there and lean on the mic and just talk to them all the time. That's all
they want some DL Hughley action where you just pick on like the first 7 people and they're like, all right, here's your feature. And it's like, well, I can do this for money.
You talking when you open up for K-Dub? Did that?
Yeah, when I opened for K-Dub, that was pretty much all they wanted. And like that everything went
well.
Dope,
man.
Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks, man. That was my first time ever hosting for a big comedian. And when I say I I did a C plus job the whole way through.
Hey, but you made it off. You made it out alive.
Yes.
Sometimes that's important with a black show. Just make it on stage.
I asked K Dub, such a nice guy. I asked him, I was like, hey man, did I warm the crowd up for you, man? He's like, they're medium well. I was like, okay, people eat medium well. All right, let me get out the screen room. Let me get out of here.
Put a little steak sauce on it. It tastes.
Exactly. Let me get out of here if I ask any more dumb questions. I don't need no problems. Yeah. Uh, nice, nice.
Funny.
But we'll get into the topic. You chose trap music.
Yeah.
Any special reason why?
Well, I mean, me particular, like I grew up on it, right? That's kind of the music of my era. I'm 33, so when the whole trap movement happened about 04, 05, 06, I was growing up, like, high school, early college years. So to see it grow into, we always talk about pop culture and how that transcends to pop culture is very mind blowing to me, because that type of music has really no parallel with pop culture. So for them to embrace it, it always boggled my mind, just, how trendy it became. Because when, I'm looking when it first came out, I'm listening to like Fat Gucci Mane, T.I. before he went to jail. So stuff like that. And so it really blows my mind to see how far it's.
Yeah. For people that don't know, how do you explain the difference between gangster rap and trap music?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, man. I would say like gangster music is more so like talking about like gangster things, I guess. I mean, trap music can kind of be the same, because trap music is more so talking about like selling drugs, or doing a lot of street stuff that people who listen to it probably ain't gonna do. I got 2 degrees. I ain't going out there, so, but I like listening to it. It's very entertaining.
As you
So I
drive to
think
work?
listening to that and as I drive, absolutely, or as I walk to my kitchen table working from home.
Oh,
So it intrigues you. It's very you become drawn to it. So I think that was the reason that I like it. But like as far as gangster music, I think like I look at gangster music like NWA, like Fuck the Police, and that type early '90s hardcore gangster music.
nice. Wow, I didn't even think about it like that. That's definitely
I
right.
don't think stuff comes dress. Um, yeah, they're not really wearing gangster clothes, quote unquote.
Yeah. You're 100% right. I didn't when I thought of it, I thought it was more like up north versus down south. I thought up north would be considered gangster music and down south would be considered trap music. Just because
I
trap
can see
music
that.
started down here, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that. And me, I'm not a big fan of up north rap, and I'll say that from the mountaintop. I just can't sit there and listen to New York rap. I'm like, everybody's like, "Ooh, Bobby Schmurder's home." And I was like, I couldn't name 2 songs, so I don't really. That ain't really my ain't really my thing.
I definitely agree. When it comes to up north, and this isn't like trying to diss their music, it does have like that. When you hear it, you know exactly where it's coming from. Like
Right.
like Pop Smoke made jokes about. I mean, people joke that Pop Smoke sound like 50 Cent, but like he sound like 50 Cent. Like there's no way around it. Like,
Right.
yeah. Would you say
It's like
Ti?
I can't relate to New York music.
Me either. Like it's just not there. Like we have grass down here, so yeah. I'm joking. They have grass up
Right.
there,
Like
of
I don't take
course.
the subway, so I don't know what Young and May is talking about. I don't take the subway to work.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it does that culture. Yeah. Um, do you believe Ti is the king of trap music or the creator?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna be 100%, we say Curtis Mayfield, the creator. He made Pusher Man.
Sure.
That was in like '74.
Yeah.
So, but I think I would think yeah, I think Ti is a creator of trap music. I think Gucci Mane and Jeezy elevated it, but
Huh.
you could look at who put out projects first. But yeah, I would say Ti is a creator of trap music.
Okay. When it have you been to the museum yet?
No, I wanted to go when me and my wife went down to Atlanta. We had the kids, and I think the museum was closed that weekend like repairs. I'm like, damn, like I really wanted to go. So we settled for the Coca-Cola factory. I'm like, damn, this ain't the same. Like I want to see the other Coke factory, not this Coca-Cola
Exactly, right? Like if I had a choice, like that's an easy choice to make. Like,
factory. 100%.
yeah, that's one museum though. If you take your kids, it's like we ain't taking no pictures of him. Uh,
Not at all. CPS is coming.
yeah,
They coming.
uh,
Why are you showing these kids this stuff? They coming to get you.
for us, yeah, they'll come to your door quickly. Chris Mond, we got pictures here. Uh, so you
Right.
spoke
You
about,
showing next to a triple beam scale.
yeah. And would you like to explain this one? Yeah, definitely wouldn't work out. Um, well, so when it comes to trap music, do you think it has like a original sound, or do you think it's like air all over the place when it comes to trap music?
I think it did initially in the beginning. You look at like Zaytoven, he had like the piano keys and everything. And I think people like I look at trap music in different phases. So at first you had T.I., Gucci Man, Jeezy, and then you had the wave with Future. You remember like 2011, 2012.
Yes, yes,
And then you had, that was a big wave, and that was it was huge. And then
yeah.
you had Migos. They came out, and it's like three different flows where it's like it's trap music, and they're talking about the same thing, but it sounds completely different. I think it's just different younger generations, man, just coming in and putting their own twist on it. So I don't know if it has a unique sound anymore, but it did definitely did when it first came out.
Yeah. Uh, I would say the big difference when I hear it is just, and it's very simple. It's way more that goes into it, but I really think it comes down to no auto tune and auto tune. Like when it comes between those 2 decades.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, because Future he did do some type of auto tune. They had like a little T Pain in there as well. Well, I mean, and the Migos do kind of do auto tune a little bit. They change the cadences of their voices. So now, yeah, I can see that.
Um, would you consider Boosie badass? I don't know why I'd say badass, but Boosie, would you consider Boosie as trap music?
I don't know what the hell he be doing. I was like, as far as like what type of music he got. I mean, it's, some of the shit is catchy and some because I was a Boosie fan, big Boosie fan for like 2 weeks, and I went on the binge and downloaded his mixtapes, and I was like, maybe because I ain't from New Orleans, but this ain't it. So I don't see the hype behind it. I do like watching his Instagram because he be off the hook, like, bro. I live through him. He
It's
do
the,
some wild shit, but I don't consider him trap music at all.
he's the only flat TV interviews I watch.
Oh yeah, well I like Vlad TV. I'm a big fan of Vlad.
Okay,
I like Boosie. Kid and Play. Kid had a good interview.
okay, I'll check that one
But
out then.
I want to. Yeah, but this is your platform. I want to talk about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh man, it's a conversation, man. We're talking about anything. I don't
yeah,
trust me. I don't know. Young Thug, is he trap music?
100%. I like Young Thug, man. And people gonna look at me crazy, but I think he is one of the most talented artists that they got out now. Just by the way he can change his flows, his style, and now his dressing, that's a whole nother ball game. But as far as his lyrics and the way he raps and stuff, I'm a big fan. And the last album put out was it So Much Fun? That was a good album. That should have got Grammy consideration if it didn't. Um, but I am a fan of him. I think he does. He's trap music. I consider that trap music.
Hey Chris, I am people. When you said people gonna look at you crazy, I said I am people.
Oh, really, brother? You don't like him?
Man, I guess I just haven't heard enough, man. I just like every time I've heard him, it's been a feature, and it's just been very questionable.
I tell you what, download his album, or you ain't got to download, it will take up your memory, but stream it. Stream So Much Fun
Okay,
and listen to it from the beginning to the end. It's a dope album, man. I'm
I'll,
telling you,
I'll
it's
check it
one of his
out.
better works.
I'll check it out. I'm not gonna lie, man. When you said download, I was thinking like 2011. Like, so I go on that piff and
You go to live mixtapes. and down and download it.
Yeah, as long as it ain't LimeWire. Yeah. Um,
You get your computer AIDS with that.
oh yeah, trust me. That gateway couldn't make it. When it
Bro, I
comes,
killed 2 computers because of LimeWire.
your parents took it okay?
I was in college, so I took it to the computer repair shop, paid them $40. Nobody knew what happened, so we're good to go.
Good. Um, so with trap music, you talked about one of the producers. When it comes to this brand of music, do you feel like it's more important to have a great producer behind it, or do you think it's better to have a great artist?
I would say producer, man, because I mean, we can be honest. The music, the lyrics ain't got no substance to it. More or less, it's in a bunch of noise and a bunch of catchy shit to rhyme with cocaine. So it's like if you got a good producer on there and they can, mix and master the song, that's definitely gonna make it. So yeah, the lyrics ain't worth a damn. The only lyrical trap music artist I know of is probably T.I., and that's just he likes a lot of big words. But
Yeah,
everybody else is like, they ain't really lyrical.
yeah, that's
I'm a
true.
big Jeezy fan, like that.
Me
But
too.
bro, he the best.
No, no, but he can pick producers. Like all the
Right,
motivations, like when it comes to the motivations, like he definitely picked like the top tier of producers.
100%. It makes me want to do something.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy that music has that power. Like some church music can make you like want to put more money in the basket. Some drug dealer music can make you want to try to go out there and commit felonies. It's crazy, you know?
It's all in the brain. You got to have that willpower to overpower your brain in church and in the trap. So
Yeah. Oh, step. Yeah. Okay. True. Yeah. Yeah. True. Um,
they try to get you.
yeah, man. Yeah. I've only been once, but yeah, they got me. They got me close. I tipped a little extra because I was like, this, am I going to heaven now? Uh,
I'm gonna tell you where the biggest you'll see the biggest influence of trap music. You ever been to Magic City in Atlanta?
oh yeah, man. Paid that $20 to park my car and everything.
Bro, we went there and they play and the whole strip club is probably the size of the bedroom you're in right now. It ain't as big as a house, but when they start playing music and they start shaking that ass, you be like, yo, this is a pretty good lifestyle. I don't know the terms and conditions that come with it, but outside looking in, this ain't too bad.
Yes, yes. And when my girl sees this or hears it, this was a long time ago. Long, 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 long time ago.
Oh yeah, statute of limitations is up. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like
Long
this
time
is
ago.
yeah. This is, did you try the food while we on the topic? Did you try the wings?
Yes, delicious. All strip clubs got good wings. I don't know who their supplier of chicken is, but all strip clubs got good wings. Onyx in Charlotte,
Yeah.
KOD's in Miami, they got good wings.
I mean, it was delicious. I mean, I was shitting glitter for a week, but it was delicious. I was just like,
Glitter and Moet. I don't know what it is about strip clubs. They love Moet.
yes, that is very true too. Do you feel like trap music is like mostly strip club music?
Yeah, I think so because its origins from the strip club. A lot of people look at where trap music come from. It is the strip club. It is the streets. So I think it does go harder in there just because the sound system. And I think hell, anytime you see a woman shaking her ass, you're gonna like the music. Now they're gonna be listening to Conway Twitty. You're like, oh damn, this ain't bad. She's shaking her ass to Hey Darling. So
Yeah,
this ain't
yeah.
bad.
That's true. I mean, that's listen to Jolene for some reason. Like, all right, that's true.
Right. Oh.
True. And take one step back, you talked about Fat Gucci Man. Fat Gucci Man did a lot for trap music itself. With all those mixtapes, like he kept like the tempo going very well in the quote streets. Um, he kept momentum very much. Do you know who coined the name trap music?
I would think T.I. because his
Yep,
album was named Trap Music,
yep, yeah.
but I don't know 100%.
It was
Um,
him.
but look like you said, like with Fat Gucci, it's like bro was dropping mixtapes weekly, and I don't have that. I'm a writer and I look at jokes every day. I don't have that much content. So I don't know how he has that much content where he can just go and make song. And you know how hard it is to make a song?
Yeah, very hard,
And
very
he was
hard.
doing it weekly. So I'm like, whew, bro's talented. I give him that.
Yeah, yeah. Not the smartest man. I see that ice cream cone, but like, he's very talented. Like,
Drugs would do that to you.
really, that's what it does.
Yeah, I smoke a little weed, but I ain't trying nothing you got to make. Like you don't got to make weed. You just grow it out the ground, boy. You got to start pressing pills and pulling lean. I'm like, nah, anything from a factory, I'll leave that alone.
it's got to be all God made. Yeah, I got
Absolutely.
you. I got you. So, what do you think is the big influence that trap music has had so far on pop culture?
Miley Cyrus. Remember when she had that wave when she was black for like a week,
Yeah,
like about 3 4 years ago. Her, Katy Perry, Ellen. You know, you look at those three people and they got a big platform when they singing trap music. You be like, oh yeah, this has reached a new height. The culture, quote unquote, has crossed over. So I think you start looking at people like that, um, that's on prime time TV and has to make some changes. And they're singing trap music and dancing into it, trying to keep up with us. That's how you know it. It went way beyond what they could imagine it to go.
yeah, sure. Miley Cyrus actually ended up bashing trap music like a couple years ago, just because she's like,
Ain't
well,
that
I
something?
got the money from the culture and dipped.
Right? Ain't that something? She was on stage shaking her ass, or a little bit she had, and singing all this man. Then you gonna sit there and bash it. I'm like, yo, really? That's how you gonna do it? But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's
They,
true.
they, what's that song? Hollywood Divorce.
Yep.
They're taking and then they leave you. So
Yes. Yeah.
it is what it is.
Very quickly. Very quickly. Um, when it comes to trap music and rap, we already talked about gangster rap, but when it comes to trap music and rap, uh, the lines get blurred, I guess, when they go mainstream, or do you think the lanes pretty much stay different when it hits mainstream music? I mean, mainstream radio.
No, I think you gotta curve it a little bit. I mean, we can look at that with comedy. You gotta know your audience. So you want to make it where people listen to it on the radio. You don't want it to sound like a mixtape every time on the radio. So you do have to, water it down a little bit so the masses can enjoy it. They may not know what you're talking about 100%, but like we said earlier, they can dance to the beat. They can like the cadence of the rhymes. So the artist got to be, if they want to make money, they got to be able to cross over. They got to be able to be in the homes of some of these suburban kids and some of these white parents and stuff. So you want to make that money, but if not, if you want to stay true to the culture, you can keep making stuff for that piff and you know play the clubs if you want to, but it's up to you how much money you want to make. The ball is in your court.
Yes, yes. Would you agree that everyone that started with trap music slowly moved to rap, or do you think it's a few that like that's still their source of income, or their ideas of music stays in line with trap music?
I mean, it just depends. I mean, everybody's goal is different. Like, do you want to make good music or do you want to make money? I think artists who like big mainstream artists, after a while, the whole aspect of making good music goes away and they just start chasing the dollar. Now, if you want to stay true to your roots, you want to be like a Bilal or Carl Thomas or somebody like that, or just make music to make music, you can do that. But it just really depends on what you want to do. Now, me personally, I mean, we can look at that with comedy. Some people are okay just playing the local clubs and uh, being a big fish in a small market. But me, I'm beyond, man. I'm trying to write sitcoms. I'm trying to look at, can I get this behind the scenes? So I think you want to be able to, you want to grow. So you do that in any field for real.
Nice, nice. To touch on what you said about behind the scenes money, um, do you feel like people that work behind the scenes in any industry, not just comedy, do you feel like those are the ones that have the longest careers?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because you can age behind the camera. You can't age on TV. You look at Steve Urkel, you know, he got so big. Well, Jaleel White, I'm sorry, see, I was calling him Steve Urkel. Jaleel White, he got that's what fucked him up.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Because I'm
got
over here like, oh yeah, that's
so
right. That's not it.
big, right? He can't do nothing else because everybody did it. He's Urkel. But if he was transitioned behind the scenes, started being a producer or a writer, he would have lasted longer because nobody really knows his face. He couldn't grow up. He couldn't change and do things. I think the only person, in my opinion, that did well with that childhood thing, Malcolm Jamal Warner. A lot of people don't give him credit as far as growing. And you can look at music. Like, did it work out good for Bow Wow? You know, he was big as a kid, but he tries to make adult music and people laugh at him. So,
I think Megan Good ended up okay too.
oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about her. Well, she's fine. So I mean, for a woman, it's easy.
Chris said, "Nah, man, she got ass."
Yeah. So it's like they gonna make room for her. They'll find a role for her.
Yeah, we need to keep her on TV. You're right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. I would say, and another person would be Janet Jackson. I think she did well. She's a Jackson, so
Oh yeah, she did play Penny. I forgot. She played. She got burned with the iron. Good Times.
yes, yes. Season 5. Sorry, big Good Times fan. When it,
Hey, you and me both, brother. We can talk about that because I was pissed that they took it off the Stars app.
I saw that
I
post.
raised hell about 2 days ago. Yeah, right. I raised hell because they took it off the Stars app. I'm a huge Good Times fan. We talk shit. We talk about that off air all night long.
It may be on YouTube right now. You may be able to
The
catch some of
quality
it.
gonna be trash.
You'd be surprised. Well, 720 is kind of not the best, so yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's funny. We pick on 720, but like just 7 years ago, 480 and 240 were like the normal. Yeah. So
Right. So I look at 720. Like, oh man, that's crap. But yeah, I was like, well, I got a 720 TV. Like you big shit back in 2013.
oh yeah, I remember seeing someone get stiff armed on Black Friday for that. Yeah.
That's true. That's
I
funny.
look right at my homeboy, like, let's go home.
Right. Yeah. We don't need to be out here.
Yeah, I don't
Obviously,
know.
we're not prepared to fight.
Nah, I was like, nah, this apartment can be quiet for a couple more days. Yeah.
Right. Get a radio or something.
Exactly. One last thing before we get back to trap music. You said growing into
Yeah.
characters. I feel like some actors get that point where you become, let's say you're just like, let's say a teenager. Do you think, like, in our perspectives, like, we're older, if you were to get cast for something, what age group character do you think you get cast for?
I don't know, man. I got such an old soul that I feel like I would have range. I can go anywhere from, but I look old too. So with my beard, I'm only 33, but I think I could, the lowest I could probably go would be 27. I couldn't play no high school kid. I couldn't
Oh no,
be
no.
a
This
high
ain't the
school.
no, this ain't
No.
the 90s. You can't do that. You
Yeah,
can
I
do it in
couldn't
the
do the shit.
90s.
I couldn't pull that off.
Mm.
But yeah, I could probably anywhere from about 27 to 40, as I think would be my range.
If I get to that point, I just hope I can be a cousin and not an uncle.
You know what? I'm looking forward to being an uncle. I can't wait. Like I'm an uncle now. I got nieces and nephews. I'm talking about like where they get to the age where I can give them a beer, like 12. I can't wait for that age. I'm excited about it. Honestly,
I mean, I'm an uncle too, but I'm talking about like if I had a chance to play it on TV.
I wouldn't be a Medea uncle, like that type where just like country as hell, just ignorant. I want to be a cool uncle. If I was to play, I'd be the one smoking weed in the car, the real cool one. Like, I
Nice, nice.
wouldn't want to be no typical um Biloxi, Mississippi uncle or nothing like that.
Yeah, cooning it up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to say that, but yes, absolutely.
Oh,
the dancing and shucking and jiving and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Um, one last thing about trap music. Where do you think it goes from this point where we are now with trap music? Do you think it can stay and become a genre itself, or do you think it may decline?
I think it's just gonna morph with rap and pop. I think with the consumer these days, getting younger and everything being more digitized, I think it's just gonna get lumped into it. I think the black culture would still call it trap music, but overall, I think it's gonna be pop rap. I don't think it'll get its own separate category and the social wars and nothing like that, but it'll be just strictly rap or pop.
I agree. I think it's gonna be the same thing with punk rock, where you don't really hear punk anymore. It's just like it's just rock. Like you just put it together. And there was no reason for it to be a subgenre.
Yeah, well, I mean, does they still make punk rock? I mean, because all the old heads is pretty much dead now, right? Like Aerosmith and Kiss and all those cats. I don't think they ain't doing nothing new, are they? They're doing reunion tours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As soon as somebody died, they just replaced them with somebody. They just like you look like them.
Right. And we don't know the difference.
No, no. Oh God, somebody in the comment section. We know the difference.
Yeah, it's a 60-year-old white man look like a 60-year-old white man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to say about trap music?
Nah, man, I think you got good questions, brother, man. You're a journalist. I appreciate that, man.
I
Sure.
appreciate it, but I try to do a little bit of research. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Nah, just follow me on all social media, Chris Mond's Comedy, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Support the movement. We got the podcast on all social medias, Papa Don Podcast. But yeah, just make sure, man, I'm putting out daily content. Just follow, and I follow back till I get too famous, and then I kind of dial it back a little.
Yes, I'm serious, guys. His skits are hilarious. Like you got some great skits, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love the fact that you put your family in your skits, and I know it's Brandon Rainwater. That's like one of my favorite comedians. He puts his
Yes.
family in his skits. Do your kids, are they excited, or are they like, Dad, why are we doing this?
Man, I ran from it from so long. It was actually my wife's idea because I do my joke of the day, but she's like, you should start doing more visual stuff because your kids are hilarious. And I said, come on, y'all, let's start doing some skits. And after if it takes more than 2 times to do a video, they'll get pissed. But they're excited. Up and like I said, it's about the second or third time, and it's like, man, fuck this video, Dan. I'm gonna play Roblox or something.
Okay. Cool, cool. All right, man. Thank you again, guys. Make sure you follow Chris Mond on every platform. Dude, it's hilarious. Thank you for coming onto the podcast, and you guys have an amazing day.
All right, peace.